Hi YouTube family, my name is Mageorgiba. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. It's good to have you here again as always. I hope everyone's having a good week so far and you are not letting anyone dim your light. Okay, so if you're a new person here, before we continue, I would like to ask you to please subscribe to my channel by clicking on the red subscribe button located on the right hand side of your screen. And after you click on the red subscribe button, please also click on the bell. That enables you to turn on post notifications, and also please select all. That way you get notifications for everything I post on my channel. Okay, so after posting this video and this video, I've got several requests to make follow-up videos on different things I mentioned in those videos. I've previously made a video about one aspect. If you haven't watched that, I will link the video in the description bar below. Today, I'm going to be talking about how you can secure your first accommodation in Australia as a new immigrant as quickly as possible. So if you're interested in knowing more, then keep watching. Okay, so the requests I got to make this video were from several prospective students that intend to come and study in Australia. However, I believe everything I'm going to mention in this video can be applied to any immigrant in general. As long as you're coming to Australia, I believe you'll be able to benefit one or two things from this video. Getting an accommodation is like applying for a job. It is not guaranteed you will get it even after applying. So to the best of my understanding, the way it works is if you just arrived in the country and you want to get a house or an apartment all to yourself as you just arrived, you need to fill out forms, attach your bank statement showing availability of funds in your account, and also provide details of references they can contact. And references in this case, I mean previous landlords. And this also applies to some shared accommodation arrangements. After you have done all these things, they will review your forms and get back to you. Most times, even if you have a lot of money in your account, you could still be denied the accommodation. And the only reason is because you are not gainfully employed at the moment. So if you are intending to move here either for school or you're planning to relocate entirely, the easiest accommodation that you could get would be a shared accommodation arrangement. Okay, so like I mentioned in that video, getting a house all to yourself as a new immigrant has a lot of requirements, and most new immigrants are unable to meet those requirements. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on how you can quickly and easily secure your first accommodation upon arrival in Australia. The easiest kind of accommodations you can secure in Australia are called the shared accommodations.
Shared accommodation.
Hey!
They're called shared accommodations because these kind of accommodations, you share certain communal areas with other housemates. So communal areas will include toilet, bathroom, kitchen, dining, and probably the living room as well if your house has one. So that is what a shared accommodation is. There are also some type of shared accommodations where you can also share the room. So in those kind of shared accommodations, you would actually have a roommate. So in addition to sharing those other things, areas of the house I mentioned earlier, you can also have a shared accommodation that you share the room. So these ones are usually cheaper compared to the ones that you share all the other things but you do not share the room. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Okay, so prices of shared accommodations vary depending on the location of the property the facilities provided by the landlord, and like I said earlier, how much you share with other housemates. Like I mentioned, if you share a room, the rent is going to be cheaper than if you have a room to yourself in a shared accommodation. Okay, so to give some further examples of how the prices of shared accommodations could vary, let me start by saying if you want to get like a shared accommodation that is located close to the city, so that's like close to the CBD, the Central Business District, and in that shared accommodation you're going to have a room to yourself, and also the landlord is going to provide your amenities. So he's taking in your rent is included the electricity bill, the water bill, and the internet bill, and he's also providing furnishing for the accommodation. These types of accommodations are usually more expensive than similar accommodations which are located a little bit farther away from the city because of proximity, obviously. So as a rule of thumb, I would say the closer you are to the city, the more expensive the accommodation. I believe that is the case. If anybody believes otherwise, please let me know in the comment section below. If you're a student or a prospective student, you can initially explore the accommodation options provided by your institution or the partners of your institution. These kind of accommodations usually tend to be a bit more expensive because the landlords usually offer furnishing. The bills are included in the rent, so the water bill, the electricity bill, the internet bill are included in the rent, and there's usually also some form of security on site. So as a student you could explore this option, but like I said, they tend to be more expensive in general, also because of their proximity to campus. They are usually either on campus or very close to campus. Most student accommodations are already fully furnished, so the landlords even provide plates and cups and pots and sheets and everything. So basically all you need to do is roll in your luggage into the place and live. That also contributes to how expensive it tends to be. Apart from student accommodations provided by your university or your university partners, you can also search for accommodation on sites like Gumtree, realestateview.com.au, and domain.com.au. I'm going to do a brief demo of each of these sites, showing you how you can go about searching for accommodation. Okay guys, so I'm just going to give a demo of how to search for accommodation on Gumtree, realestateview.com, and domain.com.au. Right, so on Google we just type in Gumtree. We're going to Gumtree now. I actually find Gumtree to be very reliable when it comes to looking for accommodation, shared accommodation, of course. So the region is already set to my area, Melbourne, Victoria. So I'm just going to say I'm looking for, okay, anyway, at the top, yeah, there are other options. So you could select real estate and maybe property for rent, room share, flat share or house share, short term, and whatever other option you're looking for. But I'm just going to type in here, I am looking for house share, and then it brings up house share in flat share or house share in property for rent. So I just say house share in flat share or house share, and let's see what happens once it decides to load up. Right, any minute now. Okay, so here we go. So the way this one works basically is it's going to bring up all the house shares in Victoria, so in the city and every other place in this state called Victoria. um, okay, so what you might want to do is use the filter on this side of your screen and specify the location you're trying to find the accommodation in. So if you know what the local government area is called, these are the local government areas, and there's an option for more down here. So these are all the local government areas. So if you know the location of the area you want to live in, you know the name, okay, you could just pick one of them. I'm in Brimbank area, so I could select that as an example and pick Brimbank as the area, because we're trying to narrow down the search. We don't want to see so many properties from all around and get confused. Okay, so it's now showing only search results for Brimbank area. As you can see, you can further specify if you want the accommodation to be furnished. And at this stage, it looks like all the accommodations in Brimbank area are furnished, so there's no option like no. Else, if they were not all furnished, you would see yes and no in this area. I would advise, to save yourself stress when you're going for a shared accommodation, try to find one that is actually furnished. Don't go for one that you need to start buying bed and reading table and all those things, because you already have enough stressing you trying to settle in, get ready for school if you're a student, or if you're a young adult that is relocating here for your residency or whatever. You already have a lot that you need to sort out, and initially I don't think looking for furniture should be one of them. So I advise you look at a house that already has furnishing. And you could also, let me see, so you have specifications for, depending on the number of bedrooms you want in the house, the bathrooms in the house, but I usually don't think you should tick any of those since it's just a house share. So let's just click on one of them that looks nice. So this is a house share. It says $100 and that's per week, which is kind of okay, but let's see how it looks once my computer decides to load up. Okay, so this is it. It's what does it say in the description? It just says room for rent, small own room, eco-friendly, animal friendly, you can smoke outside, there, blah blah blah. And it was only listed a few weeks ago. So it's a 4-bed, and there's street parking, doesn't have any preference for gender, and there's 1 bed, 1 bathroom. So you have 4 rooms in the house and 1 toilet and bath. So if you're interested in an accommodation like this, you could drop excuse me, you could drop the landlord a message, because he's the one advertising it here. But I think to drop a message, do you really need to have an account with Gumtree? I'm not sure, I can't remember at this point. But if you try to drop a message, this is just a generic message Gumtree has generated. You could type in your own message that you want to send. So if you try to send a message and it doesn't go through, you could just try to create an account with Gumtree, and just send them a message. And sometimes some of the landlords usually provide their numbers, so instead of sending messages on Gumtree, in those cases I would actually recommend that you drop them a text message. So you drop them a text message stating your interest, the ad you saw, and what you're interested in. So that's about it for Gumtree. So let's go to, what was the other one? Real Estate View. So go to realestateview.com.au. This is a more modern kind of website. It's a bit posh, and there are some kind of accommodations you would see on Gumtree you won't see here. So it's giving me options if I want to buy a house, if I want to rent, and blah blah blah. So obviously we want to rent at this point. So it's showing latest property, blah blah blah. I'm not interested in any of these. Let me just see. It's been a while I came to this site. So we're renting, and the area we're trying to rent is Victoria for now. So I'll just search and see what happens. Any minute now. Right, so it's brought up a couple of properties, and it looks like because I didn't specify whether or not I wanted a shared accommodation, it's basically showing me houses that are completely empty and I need to rent the whole house. These are the type of accommodations I was talking about that are a bit difficult to get, and after you apply there's no guarantee you will get them, because they want you to be gainfully employed. They need to see your bank statements, they need a lot of like legal things, and it makes a lot of sense because they want to be sure that you are going to be able to be committed in the long run, to be able to pay, you know, like look at this, it's $340 per week for the house. It's a whole house with 2 beds, a bath, and 1 car park, which is all right, but they want to be sure you can pay that. So they require you have a job basically and have good record as well. So let me just try to see if I can specify the house share thing. I actually think they don't have house share at this point. I actually think they don't. That's beginning to look like, but let me just put in, I saw somewhere to put in a keyword, so I'll put in house share here and see if anything comes up. So if nothing comes up, guys, you know that they don't do house shares and they are your people, like your main people, if you want a house all to yourself. So here you go, 0 results. So if you're like a young adult, recently relocated, and you already have a job as you came here, this is a very good platform to find an accommodation that you would rent and have all to yourself. You see, some of the houses are really, really good. Like, look at this one. Though it's $670 per week, and this is like very close to the city, or in the city even. Lonsdale Street, that's like right in the city. So that's also a contributing factor to how expensive it is. So young adults, oh great. Young adults, this one is for you. This is for you. You just got a great job that has made you relocate here, and you have all it takes to rent somewhere like this kind of, I think I even know this building. I've actually walked past. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Yeah, so this is, wow. Looks so good. Anyway, let's go to the last but definitely not the least, domain.com.au. I don't remember when last I was on this site, but let me see, domain.com.au. Let's see what's on here. I think the last time I came here was almost 2 years ago, when I was initially searching for an accommodation to rent for myself. Okay, so we just go in there, and hopefully this one has something for students, because I don't remember exactly. I should have done proper research before this video. I'm sorry guys, but still, Gumtree is the best place for shared accommodation searches. So if you're a student, that's your one stop. Just go on Gumtree. You could also consider the student accommodation provided by your university, but honestly speaking, Gumtree is the best place. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything reasonable for students on domain. I don't think so. I don't think so. There won't be any. Let me just search shared now. House share. So I'm checking house shares. If anything comes up, then we know you could search here. If not, then this is okay. So this site is clearly also just for working class people. So you're a new immigrant and you're here with the job and you're looking for somewhere to rent a nice apartment. This would also be a great site to check. And yeah, let me see. So if we want to rent, like, let me check like how we did on the real estate place. Whenever this decides to load before my battery dies, 11%. So just say a house, and let me see what else I can specify. So you can also specify the date available, that doesn't matter anymore. So bedrooms, say you're a young adult, so just say like 2, or maybe even a studio. So say like 1 bedroom to a studio, 1 bedroom to, alright, 1 bedroom to a studio. That's what we're looking for. And we just say 2, yeah, like that. Any car park, blah blah blah. And close the filter. Is this what I don't want to press the wrong thing, you see? So close, and let me see what happens. And search. So it brought up 1,494 houses for rent. And I'm sure they will be all really posh, because these sites, Domain and Real Estate View, they have really, like, look at this. Come on. They have like really, oh wait, this is New South Wales. So it looks like I forgot to specify the region. Anyway, so I'm sure you guys get the drift, and you at this point know how to basically go about searching for accommodation. Alternatively, you could also like Google real estate agents near me and visit them at their offices. But because of distance, I would actually advise that you search online, so you save yourself transportation from one real estate agent to the other. So search online, have a look, and if you find something you're interested in, then you can go and see the place. Okay, like I mentioned in the demo, Gumtree is like the best place to find a shared accommodation. All the shared accommodations I've lived in since I came to Australia, I found on Gumtree, and I will advise that you do not pay any deposit or anything for an accommodation until you arrive in Australia and you see it for yourself, because sometimes these accommodations are not as good as they appear in picture. You know, the internet makes everything look better. Sometimes you need to see the accommodation first before you commit to paying for it. Also, prior to arriving in Australia, you could book a cheap hotel. There are a lot of them around. You could book a cheap hotel and stay there for the meantime, for a few days or whatever. And also you could consider booking an Airbnb apartment or a room or something, a studio, because these ones are usually more cheaper than booking a hotel. And last but not least, if you have like a friend or a relative or someone you know that might be gracious enough to let you stay at their place for a few days, then I guess you're a lucky person. Okay fam, that's all for today. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give me a thumbs up, and also please share this video with everyone you know would benefit from anything I said today, and also just share it across all your social media platforms. Okay, and yeah, that's it. So if you're not subscribed, like I said earlier in the video, please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel And also, yeah, just take it easy. And I wish you all the best with searching for your accommodation. I hope you find the accommodation you desire. See you next time. But till then, as always, stay blessed and remember God loves you. Bye.